This is the gift that keeps on giving.
All right, Christian, make sure that we're... Oh, you tell us. Okay. Look behind the camera.
Okay. Chicago Financial Show in 30 seconds.
Are we coming up?
Coming up.
Make sure we're...
Just come over just a little bit more.
Okay.
Ready?
Have a seat.
Good.
You have a seat. Yeah.
15 seconds.
All right.
Are we centered? We're good?
10 seconds.
No makeup?
Makeup. No makeup.
Okay.
Live.
Welcome back. I'm Angel Garcia for Chicago Financial, and we're going to continue our discussion on fraud in Chicago. Today we have Erica Smith, who is an advocate for the elderly and has been a caseworker for many senior care providers. She will talk about fraud within the elderly and abuses. Erica, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Angel.
How did you get started in this field?
It actually started when I was a student in college. I attended Drake University. I was initially an English major, and I took a sociology course. And my sociology professor specialized in gerontology. And Drake University offered a gerontology concentration, which I graduated with, and that's how I got involved with working on behalf of the elderly.
Now, when we talk about elder fraud, a lot of people think of financial, but it's much more broad than that, isn't it?
It is. A basic definition of elder abuse is the intentional or neglectful act on the part of a caregiver or a trusted individual. But specifically, there are 5 types of elder abuse. There's financial abuse, which you just mentioned. There's also psychological abuse, physical abuse, neglect, and sexual abuse.
Now, our viewers here in Chicago Financial are really into the financial markets. So we have an interest in financial abuse. What are some examples of financial abuse with the elderly?
It can really vary. It can be something as simple as, let's say you have an adult child who is overseeing their parents' Social Security check or their pension check, and they're not using their funds to care for that older parent. They're using the funds for their own needs. That's one example. Then you can have another example where an older person is forced to make changes to their trust document, a will, or making changes to their life insurance policy to benefit the abuser. On a broad scale, you have things such as Medicare fraud, reverse mortgage frauds. So it really runs the gamut as far as financial abuse.
So what can our viewers do to combat financial abuse for elder people we know or people in their family?
Well, there are a lot of things that people can do. For one, education is key to awareness. A lot of people are not aware of exactly what financial elder abuse is and what it entails. And that's why there are various organizations at the local level as well as the national level that address these issues. Specifically, besides being educated, is if you're an adult child or a grandchild that's caring for the needs of your elderly person, you just need to be aware of their finances, what's coming in, what's going out. Sometimes it's best to get some type of legal documents such as guardianship or power of attorney so that you can better manage the older person's finances. As far as a national level, just being aware of talking to that older person about, if someone comes to the door and they did not set an appointment, or they just show up and want to discuss Medicare or changes to your mortgage, just to let that older person know that that's something that should be discussed as a family.
Now, a lot of these abuses come actually from people within the family.
That's true.
At that point, what can a senior do to protect themselves, or what can a family member do to protect themselves from another family member?
Right. Well, as far as the older person themselves, if they have the physical or mental ability to do something, they should definitely go to another relative that they can trust and bring to their awareness that there's something going on with their finances. Families can certainly play an important role in combating elder abuse within the family. Again, it's about maybe getting some type of legal document such as a guardianship, a a power of attorney so that the responsible family member can oversee the finances of that loved one.
Now, as far as the abuse itself, has it been increasing over the last few years, or has it been steady?
It's really hard to say. According to the Department of Justice, it is estimated that about 11% of people aged 60 or older are a victim of some type of financial, or not financial abuse, but elder abuse within the past year. It's also important to keep in mind that for every one case that's reported, 5 cases go unreported. So it's really hard to say exactly what the numbers are, but it certainly is a problem.
Now, there's been federal legislation proposed for Elder Protection Act. Would you be in favor of something from the federal level?
Actually, there is something that just passed this year called the Elder Justice Act, and it was passed by Congress, and it allows the federal government to provide funding for various agencies at the state level to combat elder abuse. Again, it was just passed, so it's still in the early stages, but they will address education of elder abuse as well as provide funding for various Attorney General offices, for example, to prosecute abusers.
I know a lot of people in our studio audience here are pro-finance and usually are against big government. What would you say to them when they say this should be left to the states and shouldn't be a federal mandate?
Well, the federal mandate basically allows, first of all, it will bring national attention to elder abuse, and it will also allow the federal government to provide funding at the state level so that the states can combat elder abuse. And so I don't think that will really be an issue. It's really about bringing awareness and funding to this national problem.
We're going up against a hard break. I'll give you the last word.
One thing I want to say is that elder abuse is a serious problem in this country. There are many, many organizations at the local level as well as the national level that are addressing this issue. But it is something that can be combated. We just need to be educated and aware of elder abuse, and then we can protect the people who have contributed so much to our country.
Thank you very much, Erica, for your time.
Thank you, Angel.
And we're clear.
When we come back, we'll talk about the Rod Blagojevich trial and how that will affect the Chicago markets. Oh my God.